Good morning. Happy Friday. I have like the wonkiest setup today. I acknowledge that. I really wanted to be able to see my plants. And so I have the light in weird places. And then I tested it and I was like, well, they can't even see my face because I'm facing the wrong way. So I have another light set up over here in the laptop, and we'll see if it goes out because the laptop's not plugged in. Ooh, I can plug it in. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I've got my act together. So again, busy week. I've had the busiest weeks and I love it. I love it. So much going on. So to recap from last week, I wanted to share with you, I was doing art last week. If you remember, I was drawing in my reverse coloring book, and this is what we came up with. So I wanted the flowers to not be flowers. I wanted them to be octopuses. And I tried to draw some little fish in there too. I mean, it really just looks like flowers with circles on them. It's kind of, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Not my favorite, but I tried. So that's how that came out. But I did, so I follow Andrea Nelson Art on Instagram, and she always comes up with super fun things. And so I have my art sketchbook, and I did this little plant painting this week, which was super fun. And they're easy. She's just such a bright light. And then I did these peaches, which was also super fun. So the coloring was nice. Even though that one wasn't my favorite, it got me into creative mode. And so I took some time and did those. I had also painted my fingernails, and Jerry was laughing. He was like, oh, you ran out of things to paint, so you decided to paint your book. So kind of, yeah. So that's how I got creative this week, which, again, I think we talked about it last week, that connection between creativity and safety, and how those feelings are actually similar. And so you can, when you're feeling out of sorts, you can tap into those creative actions to bring in those feelings of safety. I'm going to be exploring that more because I find it so curious and fun, because what a way to feel safe, by playing and being creative. So we're going to be getting more into that. I did, let's see, on Monday, today's Friday, so this coming Monday, the 6th, my phone, come back. So we've got a pillow propping situation with the phone. Okay, sorry guys, there we go, better-ish. Okay, worst live ever. Oh my god. Okay, I made myself blush. I haven't blushed in a long time. Okay, so on Monday, a new episode on the Embracing Layers radio show drops starting at 9:00 a.m. That's on 360 Talk Radio for women. There's an app for that. And this week's radio show focuses on addiction. And so people are, they come from all walks of life to share different experiences. I'm on the panel discussion, and I have a short little segment talking about social media, cell phone games. I mean, I'm just not gonna lie, I talk a lot about the Candy Crush. So my portion drops at, let me see, 1:57 p.m. Not 1:30, not 1:45, not 2, 1:57. Don't get me started. That's like makes my brain short out, because even with like my massages, like I start on the half hours. My life is on the half hours. It's either 2 or 2:30. Like the 2:15s, 2:45s, they just kind of make my brain melt down. So the fact that my segment starts at 1:57, I'll need to do some coloring to bring me back to a place of safety. So anyway, that's happening. On Wednesday, we had our second installment of the intro series into the Caregiver's Carabiner, and we dove into the concept of awareness. And it was just such a good conversation. And we talked about what awareness really means. We talked about caregiver burnout and identifying what that is, what it looks like, how it can present. We talked about awareness versus presence versus being grounded. So that was amazing. We did an awareness focused meditation, which was also so good. And we got to make notes on like where we started. And after 5 minutes, like where we felt after that. Did we come down one notch from like an 8 to a 7? Maybe we came down 2 notches, like from a 5 to a 3. And so that was a lot of fun. And this process has also really helped me just focus, because I want to do all this work for caregivers. I want to help caregivers, and it's finding the words, the exact message, the exact tweaking. And it just really came to me that yes, there's an element of trauma to it, and that's what I've been healing in myself the most. But where it started was with burnout, with caregiver burnout. And so just kind of reframing these things and how to navigate through that burnout so that it doesn't get to the trauma, and so the recoveries aren't so long. So it was really, really a fantastic conversation. If you missed it, you can still get the replay. Just comment replay, and I'll get you signed up for it. I've been keeping them short because we're busy. Honestly, I have a short attention span. And so some people, get on and do these webinars for like 3 hours. I'm like, oh my God, like, can you just say the thing? Just say the thing. So this one ran, I think, about 45 minutes. So this coming Wednesday, we get to dive into the second pillar, which is feelings. And it's my favorite pillar. I think it's because that's where I've done the most growth. And one of the things that felt sticky to me as a caregiver, like when you're just in that survival mode, sometimes it's really hard to be aware, and you might have a hard time tapping into your feelings and naming the feelings, and being able to name them is huge. It's huge. And so instead of naming our feelings, I feel like we just give them blanket terms like anxiety and depression. Boom. And everybody's dealing with their anxiety or depression. But there's feelings under those. There's more nuance under those two very broad categories. And so to help caregivers, to help people, anybody can have this. I am focused on the caregivers, but if you hear this message right now, you're like, oh, that's curious, you can have this. I'm not going to be like, nope, you're not a caregiver, it's not for you. You can have it. And so I created just a little PDF of a feelings wheel, and it has like it's a circle, and it has like 3 tiers of feelings, and it's a free download. So it's almost complete. I have the PDF done. I have to get the landing page finished so you have a place to go to get it. So if you want that, comment feelings below, and I'll just respond back to you when it is ready. And then you'll be able to go to my website, erincopeland.com/resources, and it's going to be living there, and you can download your feelings wheel. What else? Oh, today I've got a podcast that dropped, which again, I love it because it's a 15-minute podcast. the Digital Trailblazers podcast. It's under their health and wellness segment because they've got a bunch of different segments. And this team, it's been one of the more professional podcast hosts I've worked with. They were just so organized and so on time. So appreciated it. So that drops today. Last night I recorded another podcast episode with From Survivor to Thriver, and that was possibly hands down the best conversation I've had with folks. That it was just so engaging, different questions about different experiences, outlooks on things, and just it flowed so beautifully. And I love these two guys, Mark and Eric, which was also fun because so much of what I do involves women. And so to share the space with some men was super nice. I actually just scheduled another podcast for, what is the podcast name? I'm doing an interview, Man of the House. And I get to talk to men about caregiving because men are caregivers too. And you guys have these feelings and these things happening and nobody talks about it. So I'm super happy to be in that space. Let's see. Last week, I've got a new butterfly in the garden. So that, I think it's going to come out today. I have a new chrysalis and it has turned translucent so I can see the butterfly inside. So if it doesn't come out today, tomorrow. I'm hoping it's healthy because the last two that have eclosed, they were sick, and that just, it always makes my heart sad. So trying to figure out what's maybe happening in the garden there. I got the sourdough starter. I have not opened it yet, but I got the sourdough starter. So actually, let's see if I can open it now because I don't even know what sourdough starter looks like. If you make your own sourdough bread, I would really like to hear about it because I really don't know what I'm getting into. And oh my gosh, there's a lot of words. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the starter. Here's the starter. I don't know what to do with it. Interesting. Huh. Okay. And we have baking equipment, day one, morning, day one, afternoon. Oh, morning, after. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's a whole thing on activating it. There's some handwritten notes. It's a 6-decade-old sourdough recipe. So here, the recipe. So I will let you know when I get started on that. This one is from Mom's San Fran Sourdough. That's where I got it from. And I will share with you how this goes. But I did get the starter. And the reason I wanted to show you my spider plants, which you can't see all of them because the lighting, but my whole windowsill is filled with spider plants that all came from one plant. I'm so proud of myself for having these spider plants. And I almost lost like 6 of them. Yesterday I looked, and one of the, I don't know what they're called, runner things where the babies are, the runner had died. I don't know why. And so the babies were starting to wilt because they weren't getting any nutrients. And so I clipped them all off and put them in water in smaller pots. And all those little pots, I made all of those in ceramics. And so they're for the babies, and then they grow, and then I put them in dirt. So that's just another super fun thing that I've got going. So this guy here, that's Peter. I don't know. You get like 200 points if you figured out why I named him Peter. So this is Peter, and Peter made all of these babies all by himself. So I love it. And that's what's happening this week and next week, and the art and the butterflies and the plants and the sourdough, like all the things. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Are you doing anything to pause? I do have some pause things scheduled, so looking forward to that as well. Because doing nothing, I mean, that's on my list of kind of some of my favorite things. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see you in the workshop on Wednesday talking about feelings, and I'll see you right here next Friday. Love you all. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.